Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This is Future Solutions Fence and Outdoors clip of the day. My name is David Gatto, and I'm your host. Real quick, guys, who we are, what we do, and why this podcast exists. We are a fence and fence supply company. We're located in York, Pennsylvania. We manufacture, fabricate, and provide fencing for over 64 companies in 5 states. We also have several installation teams. We install fence all over the state of Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Delaware. So, why this podcast exists, what I'm looking to do for you guys, I want to be able to provide you with the tips and tricks to grow your business from zero to a multi-million-dollar company much faster than I was able to do it. I want to provide you guys and give you guys examples of some of the pitfalls that I have experienced that have held me back, and also some of the things that allowed me to experience exponential growth. With all that being said, guys, sit back, enjoy the show. If you like it, subscribe and share it. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining. This is episode 3 of the Future Solutions Fence and Outdoors clip of the day. Hey, guys, I just wanted to ask a favor of the audience. If you had known me when I was first getting started in business, or when I was homeless, or I was in prison, or I was living in a cemetery, just very shortly before I started my business, please leave some comments in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you guys, because the stuff that I tell you guys and I'm about to tell you guys, if it just doesn't make sense. If you were to turn these into numbers somehow and give them to a mathematician, this would not add up on paper. So piggybacking off of episode number 2, I had talked about the naysayers. I had talked about Tread It Wheel and Tire, the management all laughing at me hysterically when I told them I was starting my own business. And also I had spoke about the ridicule that I was receiving at the halfway house that I was living in. Nonetheless, that did not stop me. I was still out there knocking doors till it was dark, selling jobs, pushing my wheelbarrow up and down the street with my hard rake in it, my soft rake, my shovel, my little hoe, pickaxe, my little landscaping tools that I had. And some days it was, washing fluid. It was paper towels, whatever the job had called for, whatever I was the expert in my mind that day, or whatever type of work that I'd be pushing that wheelbarrow up and down the street. Now, every once in a while, a friend will come through from the Lights Beacon. They let me use the truck, or they would send the truck up. But for the most part, I'm on my own, and so this went on for the better part of, I'd say, 5 or 6 months. And then a breakthrough happened. One day I got the idea. I said, well, maybe I could get my license back. And because it had been gone for 10 years, it was suspended. It was one of those things where suspension turned into a suspension. So I called up the DMV, and they're like, you know what? You're actually eligible for a work-only license. So I took a bus up to Harrisburg, got my work-only license, which was like a restricted license, but it was a license. And for the first time ever, my business had turned a profit, that I was able to actually purchase something. And I purchased a Chevy. It was a half-ton Chevy, whatever it was, whatever Chevy makes, 1500. So the Chevy was 3 different colors because it had been in an accident. It was a 5-speed, and it was really beat up. But let me tell you something. I was so happy. I had felt like I was driving around the Mercedes. I had been so long since I had a vehicle, and I actually said, wow, this is working. These are profits from the business I was able to buy this with. So I remember driving around that night. I had the windows down. I had the radio cranked up. I was free. I loved this Chevy. I actually had something on wheels that had road. And I'm telling you, I was just so full of joy. And I seen some hope in there, because there was so much hard work put into this, and so much darkness. Like, you don't know if it's going to work out. And so there's fear associated with that. And I'm like, wow, this is actually working, and it's all part of the process. It's all part of the process. If you're not going into entrepreneurship, if you're not going all in, then don't go in at all. But once you make that commitment, how I had made that commitment, we're talking all in. There is no plan B. I had burned the ships. There's no sailing back. So, got my first vehicle, guys. Now, that opens up a broad highway for me, guys. I'm going to wrap it up with that, guys. Tune in for episode 4. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this if you want to keep hearing my journey. If you got something out of it, please share it and like it. See you.